Maria de Luca, that's the name on her driver's license, the one whispered by her grandma in her prayers, but the world knew her as Lana Steele. The name dripped from the lips of strangers, a sultry promise in the darkness of adult theatres. Two names, two lives, one hidden, one exposed. The irony wasn't lost on Maria. By day, she donned oversized sunglasses and a carefully constructed indifference, a shield against the judging eyes, the whispers that seemed to follow her every move. Her reflection in store windows was a stranger. This glamorous creature with the perfect makeup and carefully styled hair bore little resemblance to the scared girl inside. Night brought Lana to life. Confident, seductive, a fantasy projected onto a screen. The men watching her, wanting her, only saw the mask she wore, and Maria, she retreated further into herself. The line between reality and performance blurred. Each day the act became harder to maintain. The guilt gnawed at her. The fear threatened to consume her. Maria craved escape, but Lana held her captive. Maria had always been a dreamer. Growing up in her small town, life felt suffocating. The same people, the same routines, the same limited horizons. Hollywood shimmered in the distance, a beacon of promise and escape. She arrived in Los Angeles with a suitcase full of naive ambition and a head full of movie stars. Waitressing paid the bills, but it wasn't the dream. Rejection after rejection chipped away at her confidence. Until one day a different kind of opportunity presented itself. The adult film industry promised glamour, wealth, and a way out, a way to become someone new, someone powerful, someone untouchable. Maria, desperate and disillusioned, took the plunge, transforming herself into Lana Steele. It happened so fast. The naive girl from a small town was gone, replaced by a woman she barely recognized. A woman celebrated for her sexuality, exploited for her vulnerability. Fame, even the kind that came with whispers and averted gazes, was intoxicating. Lana Steele became a sensation. Her face graced magazine covers, her name whispered in hushed tones. Money flowed, buying her expensive clothes, a luxurious apartment, a fleeting sense of security. But the higher she climbed, the more isolated she became. The men she worked with, the ones who claimed to adore her, only saw Lana. Maria, the real Maria, remained invisible, lost in the sea of expectations and fantasies. The awards, the parties, the constant attention couldn't drown out the growing emptiness inside. Each smile felt forced, each touch transactional. This life, the one she craved, had become a gilded cage. The bars were shame and regret. Relationships outside the industry felt impossible. How could she explain her life, her choices, to someone who hadn't walked in her shoes? The shame was a wall keeping everyone at a distance. The men she dated, drawn to the allure of her on-screen persona, only reinforced her loneliness. They wanted Lana, the fantasy. Maria, the woman with a heart that ached for genuine connection, remained unseen. Loneliness became her constant companion. It followed her from film sets to red carpets, a shadow she couldn't outrun. The woman who brought pleasure to so many found herself utterly alone. Section 5. 30 and tired. 30 loomed, a stark reminder of time passing. The industry that had once seemed so alluring now felt predatory. Youth was a currency, and hers was rapidly depreciating. The thought of aging in front of the camera, of her body becoming another man's fleeting fantasy, filled her with dread. The desire for escape intensified. Maria dreamt of normalcy, of a life where she could walk down the street without fear of recognition. A life where love wasn't a transaction, where her worth wasn't measured in box office receipts. But how could she leave behind the only world she knew? The shame of her past felt like a brand marking her forever. The fear of judgment, of rejection, kept her paralyzed. Section 6. Breaking free. The decision, when it finally came, was impulsive, fueled by a late-night breakdown and a desperate yearning for something more. Maria packed a single suitcase, leaving behind the penthouse, the designer clothes, the trappings of Lana Steele. She found refuge in a quiet coastal town, miles away from the bright lights and clamor of Hollywood. The anonymity was a balm to her soul. Here, no one knew her secrets. No one looked at her with judgment in their eyes. For the first time in years, she could breathe. Section 7, Facing the Shadows. Peace, once elusive, settled upon her, but the past wasn't easily outrun. The shame, the guilt, the memories of choices made and opportunities lost haunted her dreams. Therapy became her lifeline, a space to confront the darkness and begin to heal. The world saw Lana Steele, the confident seductress, but Maria knew the truth. Beneath the carefully constructed persona was a scared girl yearning for love and acceptance. A girl who had made mistakes, who had been exploited, who was trying to find her way back to the light. Healing was a slow, painful process. There were setbacks, moments of despair when the weight of her past threatened to crush her, but she persevered, fueled by a flicker of hope and the unwavering support of her therapist. Section 8, A New Chapter. She found solace in simple things. The warmth of the sun on her skin, the smell of salt air, the laughter of children playing on the beach. She volunteered at a local bookstore, finding comfort in the world of stories, of lives lived and lost within the pages. Men, once a source of income and validation, now intimidated her. The thought of intimacy, of allowing someone past her carefully constructed defenses, filled her with terror. But deep down, a flicker of hope remained. Hope that one day she might find someone who saw beyond the label of Lana Steele and loved her for Maria. Life wasn't perfect, but it was hers. Each sunrise brought a renewed sense of purpose, a reminder that she was worthy of love, forgiveness, and a future free from the shadows of her past. Section 9, Redemption. Redemption. It wasn't a destination, but a journey, a continuous process of self-discovery and forgiveness. The road ahead was long and there would be challenges, but Maria was ready to face them. She had survived the bright lights and dark underbelly of Hollywood. She had confronted her demons and emerged stronger, more resilient. The girl who had once sought escape in the arms of strangers now sought solace in her own skin. Lana Steele might forever be a part of her past, but it no longer defined her. Maria de Luca was ready to write her own story, a story of resilience, hope, and the transformative power of redemption.